How's it going, everybody? Doing a gum chewing ramble in the garage here today. Lo-fi style. No Blue Yeti mic here today. Using the webcam mic like I did in the brushing video. Kind of see how it sounds. Let me know, everybody, how it sounds. If it sounds alright, you like it or not. I know people like the sound that the garage generates, so we'll see how this mic picks up that sound. So yeah, I'll be the usual rambling stuff. I was happy to see that. I'm filming this Saturday. I'm not putting up a video today. I'm filming this later. It's 5 something, 5:20. I put up the McDonald's video yesterday. That did great. At least the first 24 hours. We'll see what it does in a second, but I don't necessarily call it a slump buster, but it was nice to see that kind of video. I mean, I kind of knew that would view well. The other McDonald's videos I've done have all, one viewed incredible, second was really good, the other one was good as well. This one is probably on a lower pace than the others, but it's still gonna be a safe bet. I'll pop between soft spoken and whispering here as well. So I'm hoping it kind of, this one does well also, and it kind of gives me a push back through like I had, but we'll see. It's always, you're never never know what you're gonna get if you make videos on YouTube. You could be on a roll, all of a sudden goes away, all of a sudden something views extremely well, you don't expect it, that you didn't expect, others you think are gonna do well don't, stuff like that. But the gum chewing jerk roleplay would have, the shady one, I was hoping that would do better, but it got a lot of likes, which was nice. A decent amount of comments. But the likes were there against the views that it did get was nice. I talked about that in the past. Any kind of shady video or anything like that is so hit or miss. Role plays for me a couple of years ago did really well, and then your guys, viewers, tastes change, so you kind of have to go with the flow a little bit. The barbershop videos always do. The barbershop videos, like, they used to view incredible out of the gate. Now they don't view as well out of the gate, but they still do view well over time, which is nice. But happy to see that McD's video do well. Need a little bit of a slump buster, something to get the confidence back up, I mean, I don't know how it goes for other creators, but my views start to drop and shit. Like, my confidence goes down. Of course, it could just be YouTube. The videos aren't as visible enough, or you guys are not interested in them. So I have to figure that out. Yeah, I did this. I cut the lawn today. I'm filming this Saturday, like I said. It's gonna go Sunday morning. They cut the lawn, and then of course, like 4 hours later, I look down. There's a bunch of leaves there again. I was like, yeah, I kind of figured as much. Even the front lawn's starting to get them again, but I kind of wanted to get rid of what was there, and the lawn actually did need to be cut. So I'll probably do that like 2 more times. I got to do up top too. And then start around in the backyard as well. I'd say maybe like 70% of leaves are down, but some trees still have a decent amount, so those will come down. I do like to wait sometimes. The stuff on the lawn I like to get rid of because I don't want there to be a ton, because the lawnmower doesn't grind them up as well when there's a lot more. I gotta, burn through that battery in the lawnmower just to keep going over them and stuff. So, I took a picture of it. I gotta put it on Instagram. I haven't yet. I'll probably put it up before it goes up. on Amazon. I saw the because I mean I've done videos on them, not in a while, but my or maybe I don't know. No, that was the other channel. I think. The GI Joe classified figures. I was able to get the Trouble Bubble with the Televiper. It was like under. It was like $36. It was on. It's still on sale. I think for like $34.50. It's like $36.90 after tax, which is a good deal on that. I feel. The box was a little dented. I almost expected that. With Amazon, sometimes you're like, yeah, it didn't bother me enough. But I did open it though. I was like, oh, I plan on opening it anyway. But I'm like, let's make sure everything's in here though. And it was. The cool vehicle is funny. Opening that up, you'd have to be my age, or I mean, you could be even 5, 10 years younger or a bit older as well. You'd recognize it. Like I opened it up and I got like nostalgia back from the little one I had when I was a kid and stuff. And I was looking at starting lineups again actually last night. I was looking at the classic doubles that they have. You can get those for good prices on eBay. Like I said, in the past, there's some that sell for a good amount, but you can get a ton for under $20. Like a lot of those classic doubles you can get for under 20, and even the single ones you can get for under 10, 12, 15, which is more than they cost back then. But most of those have not gained tons of value outside of some, especially from the original year '88. Some of those can be a couple $100 that are unopened. Still gotta film a gameplay, as always with me. The gameplays, like, I don't know why I have no motivation to do gameplays. I don't know why. That's how much I'm just not into games. I'm actually shocked that I pushed through and completed Silent Hill, because I thought I was just gonna put that down and back screw. But I did like the story. But I'm in no rush to do another playthrough. That was kind of one of the annoyances where like you only get that certain ending, and it's like almost forcing you to play again to get more story out of it. I'm like, nope, not right now. Maybe another time. I gotta try to film one. I don't know. During this week, I will try to film one. Yeah. I was gonna say something else. I forgot. I've been taking pictures and stuff for eBay items that I'm gonna be listing soon here as well. It's like Christmas is coming. Yeah, it's almost a month away. Like I said, we're gonna be in Florida for that, so you're not gonna see a Christmas haul on Christmas Day. It'll probably, I think we're gonna exchange gifts when we get back. We kind of put a limit on how much to spend, just because we're like, we don't want to go nuts. So you'll probably see a couple things. I'll probably Christmas haul plus a little ramble or something, because it's not going to be more than probably 3 things, which is fine, honestly. There's nothing. I'm like looking for video games. I'm like, I know there's like nothing. That's at least cheaper. I'm like, there's nothing there. Maybe these Black Friday deals that are coming up, maybe there'll be something floating around. Game or two, so. I don't know if I'm going to go long with this one or not. I'll try to go maybe like a half an hour. We'll see how it goes. It'll be nice. Maybe go over, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Got the concert going next week. Lindsay Sterling. That's gonna be good. That's her. She's gonna be doing the Christmas tunes and stuff, so that should be a good one. And then not much after that until we go down to Florida, which is gonna be nice. It's not gonna be a long trip. We're going down there. Like I think I talked about this. We're rent like a minivan type thing. Go down there. We're only going for like 5 days, which is short. By typically when I go by train, I'm there for like 10 to 12. And even when we used to go by plane, we'd be there for like 8 or 9. But you know, it's not going to be a long one. But like I said, we're going to be pulling stuff back. I got this pressure washer I take from my mom's hedge trimmer. I think I've mentioned this a million times probably, but some other things as well, tools and whatnot. Grab the rest of the coins. I might bring the Transformers stuff back too that I have, the figures. Just load up on grab. I do have to cut the hydrangea trees before that. That always takes a little bit of time. I'll do like 1 a day. Because I kept some of these for a reason. I was gonna like make like a little kind of fort type thing for those classified figures if I was gonna set them up in like you'll see a lot of these on Instagram. People set up their action figures in like these cool little scenarios and shit. Like they have like seriously cool stuff they're using. And I was cutting them, the hydrangea tree, little branch things or whatever. I didn't do anything with them. That's what I do. I just snip them up and throw them into a bag. Throw them out. Obviously, football's tomorrow again. You'll be seeing this before that. I didn't realize actually the NHL real quickly. I'm like looking. I see there's the Penguins play the Predators. It was during the day on a Friday. I was like, what the hell? But they do a global series too. Apparently, they're playing in Stockholm. 2 games, both those teams are playing. They played one. They'll play another one on Sunday. But freaking the Islanders won in overtime again. They beat the Mammoth. They're playing much better now. Their goaltending's been better. And Schaefer, the rookie, the defenseman Matthew Schaefer, this guy, man, I think he's got like 15 points in 18 games. He had the OT winner last night. I talked about him a little. This guy and his young gun is not in Series 1 of Upper Deck. It's going to be in Series 2. And so is Mises, too. He's hurt right now. He was number 2 pick. But the guy on the Canadians is the big young gun. I forget his name. From Series 1. But I'm telling you right now, like, this Schaefer young gun is going to be at least like $150 right out of the box. Like, at that point, who knows how well he's going to be doing. But so far through 18 games, like, this guy has exceeded expectations at his age. Like, he's breaking records in terms of like youngest to score an overtime goal because he's only fucking 18. Youngest to score 2 goals in a game and shit. But he's a great skater. He's got a pretty good shot. He's a good playmaker and he's a solid defenseman. This kid's only fucking 18. Like, holy shit, this guy, could be the anchor of their defense and even power play for that matter for another, 15 years if they play their cards right. I'm trying to think. Tavares was the other first round pick, and he played with them for 9 years before leaving. And it was funny too that he left, and I was like, oh great, here we go. Like I was like, okay, he went to Toronto. I'm like, okay, so Toronto, I'm like, is at least gonna make the conference finals, and the Islanders completely suck. This is how it goes. The Islanders actually went on their little run after he left. They immediately did better than the Maple Leafs in the playoffs 3 years in a row. They went second round in the 2 conference finals, or whatever they're called. Then they missed the playoffs, and they made the playoffs 2 years in a row. Knocked out in the first round, and they missed it last year. But Tavares still hasn't gotten out of that second round. Which I was, like I said, I've talked about this before probably. I wasn't necessarily pissed at him. I was pissed at him because he's like, oh, don't trade me. I remember this was going down. We got to make it work, and then he doesn't sign with them. Which, honestly, it was either going to be Toronto or the Islanders. He's going to either re-sign or go to Toronto. Those are the only 2 teams to play. But I put it up more on Garth Snell because he's too friendly with the players. He should have just been like, you know what? I got to do what's best for the team. Because they could have got some good stuff for that dude, man. Like, and instead they got nothing. But, of course, the fans booed the shit out of him. The fans still bitching about it. It's like, dude, it was freaking 8 years ago, 9 years ago at this point. Who cares? I was more concerned about him immediately winning a cup, and of course, he leaves the Islanders, gets his cup, and the Islanders are garbage, but it didn't turn out that way. Ohtani and Judge, I think, both won MVPs again. I think it's like Ohtani's 4th and Judge's 3rd. I mean, they're the two dominant players. It's not even, I think Judge edged out Raleigh with really good years. Well, it popped 60 homers, I believe, right? He was worthy of it, too. And his team did go further in playoffs. They went, game 7 of the ALCS? I haven't watched much again still after what I talked about and the what I've been watching video. Somebody in a comment mentioned a movie Keeper that I need to look at a trailer for. I was looking at it on Rotten Tomatoes earlier, but I have not watched a trailer for it yet. I think the person said it was the director of Long Legs, which I like, so maybe give that movie a shot soon. We've been doing more Walmart pickups where they bring it out to your car. We used to go in and then we started doing pickups. I don't know why, but I'm like, it's easier. It's easier for me, not the pickup itself, but ordering the stuff online for me is easier because I can kind of take my time, remember what I want and everything. It's easier to browse on the internet than it is in the store. And maybe this is just me, I don't know. But when I'm in the store, like a Walmart, especially in Walmart, for some reason in my mind, I always feel rushed and I'm forgetting things that I need and stuff. So it's nice to, be able to just look online, be like, okay, this is the bread I want. This is the soda, so I'm gonna get juice. I'm gonna do this, that, the other. I just feel like it's simpler for me. And maybe because it's a store that has a bunch of shit in it. It's not just the food, it's the clothes and the video games and the electronics and the toys, cards, whatever the hell it may be. In a regular supermarket, it's different. I don't feel as like a scatterbrained, like, oh my god. Because I always take a look at the cards real quick. I'm like, what do we got over here? I don't buy anything most of the time, of course, but a lot of cards on the shelves too. I've been watching card-related content. And a lot of people are talking about it. Like, you go to Targets and stuff, and there's just like a ton of product on the shelves. Like, not the Pokemon stuff. People seemingly eat that shit up immediately. I watch a lot of that shit too, the scalpers and stuff. And these people just throwing everything into their card, and people filming them, and everybody starts yelling at each other. There's one guy I saw a video. He was at a Target, and they didn't have the stuff out on the floor yet or something. He thought he was gonna get there first, but the stuff wasn't out, and he literally started flipping out in the store, throwing stuff and shit. I was like, what the hell, dude? I watch those videos because you have the people, everybody's yelling at each other there too. Sports cards, not as bad, but I watch a lot of sports card content. And more about the card breakers and stuff that people seem to have a problem with. Ethically, because I watch some of these videos. I've seen somewhere the guy will break a box and they'll slickly, but not slickly because they got caught. It's over the internet. They see a good card coming up and they like, oh, whoops, and they like fumble at something. Oh, wait, hold on a second. It goes off camera. And then the good card's gone. They keep it, and shit, which is messed up. I mean, I wouldn't personally buy into breaks because I like opening my own stuff. Like, that's part of the reason I like doing it, honestly, is because I like ripping packs. And typically I'm just buying older stuff that's cheap. If I get something good, great, Like, I got that Ohtani card. I got the Gary Cole auto last year, But I'll buy like a lot of the Upper Deck. I actually have a box of Upper Deck hockey coming. I'm not going to do a video on it. They don't view well to begin with, and if I'm slumping, it's a fucking waste. But it's like 21, 22 extended series. It was like $22 for the box with tax on eBay. And there's no really good Young Guns in there. It's more like I would just be trying to get a hit, but I'm just kind of want to get the cards. Like, I like ripping the packs, and it's cheap, under $1 a pack. But I'll get a lot of the older Upper Deck stuff, or like I got Fleer Ultra baseball a while back and stuff like that. Go to the stuff that I got when I was a kid in the Skybox, obviously, the basketball, the Upper Deck basketball. just because I remember it and it brings back the memories. And I like collecting the base cards and shit. But I have been watching that card content. Pokemon stuff just because it's fascinating. The whole, like, and a lot of that stuff during COVID, everybody started buying up fucking cards online. And all of a sudden the boom came and cards are expensive as shit. Although it seems like there's a dip in the sports card stuff. And people talking about graders as well and shit. And now, like, I guess the PSA is the big one. And how some of the shit, the scams and stuff that are going on in these communities, it's kind of nuts. It's interesting at the very least, and sometimes it's very entertaining. And I've been watching a lot of eBay related shit too. eBay here, sellers here, and sellers in the UK as well. Like I talked about the promoting stuff, and that already happened in UK, and I think other places as well. They already were doing that. eBay changed the promotion and shit. Like I said, I don't promote my stuff because it's very sellable. Coins, video games, a lot of stuff I sell. Almost any, if I list 10 items, 9 of them are going to sell within like a week, just because people want it. Now I might consider promoting stuff that doesn't have a lot of sales. I'm always looking at the sales. You know, I see, oh, this game has sold 15 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm like, it's got a good sell rate. And the coins always, I don't think I've ever had to relist a coin. They always sell. Some might take a little bit, or people start watching. I throw an offer at them, and they grab it, or whatever. Coins are always highly sellable, and I have a good amount of them. But the funny thing is, like, last time I was in Florida, I grabbed some of the older uncirculated sets. The ones that are in like almost like the baggy type things. They're not the ones in the hard plastic. The mint silver proof sets and the mint ones. These are just like uncirculated. And I'm like looking at what they've been selling for on eBay because they came in sets. They came in 2 packages, and they're from Denver and Philadelphia, right? So people sell both of them together. And I'm combining the price of the coins in these packages, right? And it's usually either like $6 or $3, depending on how many coins they were putting in. Someone throw dollar coins in there and shit. And I'm like looking at how much they're selling for. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell it if it's after fees and everything and shipping. I'm getting back less than what the coins are worth. And the thing at that point, I'll just rip them out of the freaking stuff. You know. It's always funny to me selling money for more money. You're selling money. But obviously, a lot of the coins are actually graded, NGC graded and shit. You know, and people like those sets because they're silver proof sets. People will crack those and take some of the coins out of there, like especially the half dollars and stuff, and then they'll ship those off to get graded. But a lot of the silver eagles and shit like that, it's cool, and I'm gonna keep some of them. But you know, the thing was to sell them and then kind of bring my mom money, split the money. I'll do all this selling and shit. Although it's at this point, a few times I've gone down there and I've just given her money, and then that's pretty much me buying the coins from her. And then when I get back to that price of what I've given her, I'll start to split them again. Because I wasn't selling a ton of shit. I didn't have to. I think in 26, like I said, I'm gonna go pretty big on eBay as well. Just because, you know, it's time to make more money. 26 is the year of making money. By all means necessary. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, like I said, we gotta grab a bunch of stuff from down there. Definitely get to Bach Tower again. I want to see their Christmas setup. Never gone there during their Christmas setup. Never actually been there in December. Well, not since I was a kid. We were considering, I don't think we're going to do it, going to Super Mario World the new Harry Potter thing that they have in Universal. Because those two sections are in their own area now. So I'm like, well, we've done the other stuff. But it's like $120 just to go to that area. And if you want to go to more, you gotta pay more and shit. But I don't know. It's just another $120. Like I'm not in the mood to spend that kind of money. Not say I wouldn't enjoy it, but it's quite a bit to be dropping. Because I want to do better. You know, I just want to, I mean, I don't stupidly spend or anything like that, but I want to really kind of tighten it up a bit in a new year while making more. The sun is now gone. The sun's pretty gone. Much gone by 5:30 now. What was I gonna say? No. It's actually fairly quiet out there. Cars go by now, but it's fairly quiet out there tonight. It was warm today. It was like 73. It hit. I was like, really? It was in like the high 20s in the morning a couple of days ago. It'll be good to get down there again, and then still I don't know fully know. I think I must have mentioned it, right? Did I? Maybe I didn't. I feel like I mentioned England trip at some point on here. I still want to get over there, but of course that's going to be a pricey endeavor as well. Especially because the pound sterling, British pound, is worth more than U.S. and you got to spend more to get more over there. And apparently, a lot of places. And like I said, anybody who's from the UK, let me know this, because obviously I do not know. I don't live there. I mean, it's cool that a lot of you are from there, so you can let me know this stuff. But a lot of people are saying like about taking trips over there because we were researching a bunch, maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It's probably when I mentioned it, but a lot of people get these like prepaid cards when they go over there because a lot of places apparently don't take cash, which to me is always weird. I still think cash is king. Let me know if you agree with that. At one antique store, it even says cash is king, and they'll charge like $4 just to use your credit card, which I don't want to use. You always get a little charge on your card, debit card, credit card, whatever it is. Which I'd rather not that happen. I love paying in cash. I don't like not having cash on me. I don't have as much as I used to because I don't have easy access to the bank now. I used to be able to just walk to the bank, take some money out, or whatever. Let me know though if that's the case. If you live over there, like a lot of people, like let me know if this is a thing we're playing. And I'm not talking about like we go over there. It's not just like, oh, we're in London and we're doing stuff in London. I'm getting giddy thinking about it because quickly, like I want to get over there. So I have an affinity. Is that the word, affinity? For the UK, England specifically, but Ireland is. I know it's Northern Ireland. That's part of the UK, not the rest of Ireland, but Ireland as well, Scotland, but England itself, like. For years, like I've always thought about going there, even since like the late '90s. I've always I used to watch on the BBC, on the channel on TV. I'd watch their shows late at night and shit. There was Spaced back then. Is It Legal? A comedy I remember, with the woman's name was Kate Is-It, I think, which is funny. Is it legal? Unless you say her name differently. Let me know if you know who she is over there. Cash in the Attic, which I fucking loved. And I think I've talked about this. Like Cash in the Attic, they go to people's houses and shit, and they have the kind of auctioneers, and the people go there and appraise their kind of things, or give them an idea how much it's worth. And the people usually bring stuff to auction because they want to go on a vacation or do a home renovation, whatever it may be. And they'd go there and they'd have this cool stuff that's like super old, and the people know everything about it. And then they try to do a US one. There's just not enough history. There's history here, but not like over there. And they're like, check out my power drill. Like, I want to see the thing. The guy's like, oh, yeah, this is from the 1600s, the 1500s. I mean, you can obviously find stuff here, but not to the consistency is over there. You're not gonna. You can have old stuff. It depends also how long your family's been here. Now, Native Americans is a lot different. They have much further back, clearly. But I just thought it was funny. Like, here's the power drill. Like, it's like, dude, this sucks. Like, I want to hear history behind the things, you know. So it's like, oh yeah, okay. Some over in the UK, these people, yeah, my family. This has been the family for 6 generations. It's like 500 years old. But as I was saying, like that. Oh, there's a show Hardware with Martin Freeman. I said space. The IT crowd was a little later. There was a show called My Family that I liked that was pretty much like Married with Children over here, but not as raunchy as Married with Children. And there was a bunch of other ones too that I would watch. Mostly comedies. Black Books was another one, which is hilarious. I still love that show. But I've always just, I don't know why, maybe because it's third English. I don't know. I've always just been like, I really want to get over there. I mean, I'd love to get to Ireland as well. Because I'm a third Irish as well. And then German. But at the moment, got to start with one place. Although if we went over, we would probably take the tube, the train over to France. Maybe even, Brussels. That's Belgium, right? Or am I showing my typical American ignorance? Brussels is in Belgium, right? Because Brussels is right there, too. Brussels sprouts, yeah, that's where we're going to be. Yes, it is Belgium, okay. I'm not that much of an idiot. We were going to go get Brussels sprouts. But because that's a short train ride, too, and so is Paris, and that would be cool to check out other countries as well, because here you have Canada, which I've been to twice, Mexico. We've been down to Jamaica, obviously, somewhat recently, but I mean, here's the thing. Over in Europe, it's like, okay, wherever you are, you just, look at all these countries that are right here. Now, of course, the United States is massive. Every state feels like its own country, to be honest with you. If you live here, you know. But, or I should say, there's different regions. Like, you could break this country up into probably like 5 or 6 separate countries if you wanted to, just based on like differences in cultural differences and stuff like that. And there's plenty of other states I'd like to get to, especially where we live now. Like, let's get to Cincinnati. My fiance's like, Cincinnati? What? Why do you want to go to Cincinnati? I'm like, why the fuck not? Kentucky's close. Ohio's close. Indianapolis was another place. I was like, oh yeah, Indianapolis. Let's get to Indiana. Anybody who lives near Cincinnati, tell me how it is. I know they got a zoo there and some botanical gardens, I believe, and stuff. I remember the classic film Airborne from the 90s was filmed there. If anyone's ever seen the movie Airborne with the rollerblading movie. Seth Green is in that, I believe. If anybody lives over there or near Indianapolis and tells me you're in Kentucky, let me know, like Louisville and stuff like that. Would love to get back down to Savannah, Georgia as well. Loved it there. That's a gorgeous city. And still has that Belford's chicken sandwich, the waffles. It has the bun. Oh my gosh, the best food I ever ate. Fuck. And I don't get excited about food typically. Like, I like food, but I don't like eat something and go, oh my, like this. I was just like, oh my god. But it was nice there. We went to a couple museums in Savannah. Went to that one graveyard. That was really nice. I had Instagram. I have pictures of this stuff. And a couple parks. Like I said, there was a sea maritime museum there, I believe, and there was a prohibition museum as well. It was a great place, actually. I really liked it there. It's nice, and we're close now. We're like 4 hours away drive, so we took the plane there last time. We went back That's my 40th. That was cool. But anyway, yeah, like just going to England. Like I don't know why. I just it's just like this. Go up to Birmingham and watch Aston Villa play. I'm the only true fan here. Imagine they just won the Premier League this year. They just keep ripping it up. That's because I'm a fan, clearly. I'm kidding. I don't know, it's always been a place, like I said, for years that I would love to have gone to. It's only really back then it was more money too. But it's also the flight. It's from here, if it was Raleigh or Charlotte, it's like a 7.5 hour flight. Not terrible. If we were in New York still, it would have been like a 5 and change flight, which would have been better. If we left from, what was it? JFK is the international airport, right? There's definitely not flights going from MacArthur there. It would have been like 2 hours shorter. But I would really, because you got to pay for the airfare and where you're staying, like whatever hotel you're staying at. Of course, like London, just there's plenty of things I'd like to see there, But I want to get to like because the train system there is awesome. Like a lot of these European train systems are fantastic compared to here. Back on Long Island, it was great. You had the Long Island Railroad. The rail system up in New York and the Northeast is pretty solid. But over there, it's like you hop on these trains and it's just like, okay, I want to go to all these smaller towns because that's the kind of shit I want to fucking see. Like, yeah, sure, I'll be in London for a couple of days. Let's see some cool stuff. Yeah, there's all this awesome history or whatever. I want to get to the smaller towns. I want to get in the thick of it. I want to meet the locals from these random towns. They'd be like, where are you from? And I'd be like, where do it sound like I'm from? I would assume it sounds clear that I'm from New York, Long Island specifically. There are differences in those accents, although mine could probably be mistaken for New Jersey as well, probably. Or I sometimes like to think my accent isn't too obvious, but you're listening to yourself. But sometimes it comes out bad, and I'm like ashamed. I'm like, why did I just fucking say that like that? I'm never gonna do it. I'm like, what did I just say? No. But I'd like to just, it's just a place I'd love to go, like thinking about it, and there's plenty of other places, like I said, if we have extra money and stuff, like I'd love to hop over to Ireland too, man. Absolutely, I had a relative that was from Ireland that got banished to Australia. This would have been a long time ago, probably in the 1800s. Yeah. And Germany would be cool too, just not that it's possible. You could always possibly have family still over there, right? Just very far detached or whatever. But it would just be cool. It would be just a cool trip. I don't know why. And then I'd get there and I'd be like, oh my god, everybody hates me. This sucks. I gotta get home. Everybody's like, oh goddamn, we got another American here. He's about to do something stupid. It'd be cool meeting people too, man. Kidding me? From YouTube and stuff. Like, yeah, holy shit. That'd be actually kind of fucking awesome. Almost have like guides, like, yo, where do you live? We're coming there. Show us the hot spots. I want to know all the best food and shit. Like I said, though, it's just something, I don't know. I think everybody has like a thing for maybe foreign places. Let me know if you do. You could have one for America, listen. Or the United States. Well, Canada's nice too. Like I said, we went up there twice. Toronto was the furthest we went, and it was awesome. I like Toronto a lot. The second time we went back, and I probably talked about it back in 2018. We didn't go too far. We didn't go to Toronto. Like we stayed close to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, but we did go a little far up into some of the towns further north of there. I still, that's another place I really wanted to go to, like 15, 20 years ago, was Ottawa. I always had a thing, like, I don't know why, I just wanted to go to Ottawa. And at the time, Ottawa's not that far from Long Island. It's probably like 8 hours. Same thing as going to Niagara Falls. It's like an 8 hour. Montreal is about 8 hours too. Maybe one of them's a little further. But they are not super far. I'm talking drive too. But it didn't happen, unfortunately. But yeah, I have like an affinity. I think that's the word, right? That's like a liking to just wanting to go there. I don't know, man. And then chatting with you guys from that are from the UK, not just England itself, and Ireland as well. I'm just putting Ireland in there. I know Northern Ireland's part of the UK. Other Ireland is not. Other Ireland. But Ireland as well. Like, it's just these places. Like, I don't know. I guess because maybe no matter where, if you're from here, you have ancestors from a lot of those places, right? So maybe you just have like a ancestral urge. Is that the word? to go to these places. I might be Scottish too. I don't know for sure. So it's possible. I mean, my last name is English. Funny enough, we moved to North Carolina because North Carolina has like I think the highest population or descendants from like England live in North Carolina. And my last name is the most people with my last name live in this state too, which I thought was funny. It's like really, I ended up in that state, the state with my name. But I want to do one of those kind of things. Was it like 23andMe or Ancestry, just to kind of go further back? I know, like I said, I think I've talked about this past. I know for a fact, like on my mom's side, we've been here since at least the 1860s. I know that. My dad's side, I don't know. I could ask one of my half siblings. But that's the English side on his. And that's where there might be something else in there. The German and Irish is from my mom's side. I remember when I went to a psychologist in 9th grade and just talking. He's like, oh yeah, what's your background or whatever? I'm like, oh, I'm German, Irish, and English. I was like, you must have a lot of fights with yourself. I was like, yeah, dude, should we switch seats now? I'm having inner conflict. The English and the Irish are battling. And the German and the English are battling. But, it would be cool. I mean, it can be done. It's not like we can't get over there. It's just more. You have to kind of. Like, I'd be saving money specifically for that trip. I wouldn't want to really dip into anything. I'd rather just save whatever I could and get as far as I could for that. Because you go over there, it's like, we were thinking this, like, how long do you want to go over there? I'm like, I got to go over there for at least, it's got to be at least 10 days, 10 to 12, like, full days, I feel. Now, I know it's going to be pricey. You got a hotel. The flights have already been paid for, but then you've got a hotel. You got to worry about food. That's why I'm going to be like, yo, anybody from YouTube, invite us over for a meal. Just walk around and mooching from everybody. Don't you know I'm an important YouTuber? I'm kidding. Although England is second behind the US for my stats. Obviously the US is the most. The US is the most for a lot of people, no matter where you are in the world, because there's a shit ton of people. What are we up to, like 335 million here or some shit? But like I said, every state is almost a different country. Like, not all of them. Like I said, there's probably like 6 or 7 regions where like you could separate. Like, okay, you're here now. You're in the Northeast. Okay, here's these cluster of southern states that are kind of similar as well. And then I don't know the Midwest and stuff. like I said, it always goes America, UK, or US, UK, Australia, Germany, and I forgot Canada. Canada, actually, no, Canada is usually behind the UK. But Canada is those three are the top three. And then Australia and Germany. Germany's usually in fifth. It's always cool looking. It's like I've talked about this. It's surreal in a lot of ways. People are like, you know, they're from this country. Oh, I'm watching you over here, and you're just like, holy shit, man. It blows my mind sometimes still, you know. This ended up being a long ramble. I'm probably not going to hit an hour. I probably could if I wanted to. Talking about that traveling there, paid it 15, 20 minutes. I said, yeah, I'd love to get there. It would most likely be like a 27, probably. Well, my passport expires in 28, I think. It has to be before that. It'd be cool. It'd be cool, you know. To get over there. And we'd have to decide what time of year to go, what the best. This is, like I said, I think I've talked about this in the past, and you guys have given me feedback on it, but feel free to again. Like what times of year to go. Like I said, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd love to get to Birmingham too, just to not necessarily get to an Aston Villa game, but maybe just see the stadium and shit. And it would be cool. I would assume I'd still be a fan by then, in an extra year from now. But it would probably be like halfway into the next season, not this season going on. And there's places there. I was looking at Brighton, looked awesome. And these are for short train rides, so. Places like that. And it's funny too because so many of the towns are just like, especially when you go to the Northeast. It's all across the U.S., but the Northeast specifically, like when they came over here, they were just like, okay, we're just gonna name these after cities from England where we came from. Like New York has a ton, Massachusetts has a ton, Connecticut, they have tons of just towns named. Like, oh, there's Kew Gardens, there's St. Albans. It's not Hempstead, it's Hampstead over there. There's a Seaford I saw. There's a lot, and obviously there's Londons all over the place. And it's Birmingham, Alabama. But yeah, it'd be nice to get over there. It'd just be cool. It'd just be a cool experience too, you know. Never gotten over to Europe, so. And then, like I said, hit Brussels, hit Paris. It'd be cool to do. Just hit a few because you can, you know. I think it's awesome if you just live in England. It's like, oh yeah, shit, we're gonna go over to all these other countries. Oh look, there's Spain, there's Portugal, Germany, Belgium, France, Amsterdam, Norway. I mean, then you get a little further down, you know, go further. Italy it's a little bit of more of a hike, but I think it's cool. But anyway, I'm not gonna go the full hour. I'm losing steam. But it was a long ramble, 50 minutes almost. So a garage ramble. Hopefully it sounds all right. I'm gonna re-listen to a minute, but it's more of the lo-fi quality. And you get a comment. They were saying they're like, "Hey, you should put lo-fi in the title of these kind of vids," and I was like, "That's a good idea. I should." So yeah. It's a long gum chewing ramble. Lo-fi, no Blue Yeti mic for this one. And hopefully it sounds good. Like I said, I have no problem doing more of these if you guys like them. I mean, I used to film, not with webcam, but the laptop cameras and stuff. And people did like that stuff back then. But anyway,